All right, in this video, you will learn how to build awesome processes that run your organization. And also how to manage sort of the actual workflow through your team, right? We will start with a really basic, or it's not basic, but it is an IT workflow, which really covers a lot of things. So let's open this blueprint right here to get a broad overview. So basically here you can see we have a name, we have that it is active, that only my organization can use it. You can also set it to public if you want other organizations to be able to use it as well. We have some channels to be able to find it faster through search and also on the blueprint tab. Then we have projects where this blueprint can be used, which is only CD to IT. All the others don't need this blueprint. Normally it's set to all. And description, the organizations and who the owner is, right? Description I don't need because only we are using it, but normally you could say like all the bugs should be reported with this blueprint. Now we have different elements within this blueprint that need to be worked on. So an element is basically a task that is added into the feed and then can be worked on by whoever gets assigned to the task. Why are they called elements? Well, a task, there's an element that can be called a task, and our plan is also to have, for example, a mail or a API connection or whatever else there could be. So we can't say that all the elements are just tasks. They are for now, but as we move forward, there will also be other things besides tasks. Now, what we have here we have 11 elements, and they are connected to each other or they're standalone. Really depends on whatever you need. If you need something that is really linear, then they will be connected. If you have like tasks that can run simultaneously, then you can have them side by side. To make this a bit more concrete, or why do we have the prioritization here? The only reason for this is, first of all, we have a list and not some diagram. And then this task is more important than this task, which is more important than this task. So if I get assigned to this one and this one, I still should work on this one earlier than I should do on this one, although I could work on both, right? Now let's check what this does. Basically, this is just the name of the task later on. Then below this, we have the various elements and how they are connected to this task. Because this one is the first task, all other tasks are connected to this one. Because obviously they need the short bug description, right? Short bug description, those are fields, and they need the detailed bug description, and they need to know where, in what version I found this, whether it was an app.clonedesk, which is like the productive server, or it's in beta CloneDesk, which is like only for beta testing before the features go into the live system or the test system, right? And then there are some other fields that I need to fill out, which are also important, because if I say, are you a CloneDesk manager? And I say no, then the workflow changes based on this. If I say yes, for example, some tasks are different, right? I will show you this in a second. Then, do you want to be informed when the bug is solved? I can say no or yes. So if I issue this task and I also do the testing later on, I say no, because I don't want to get another task to review. But for example, once we open this for the public and everybody can issue bugs in the system, then you should be able to say yes. Then obviously the blueprint starter should get this task, which is the one who clicks on start blueprint, which makes sense because if I start the blueprint, I have to fill out these fields. It doesn't make sense that anybody else who is a worker or even the project owner has to fill out the bug description because he doesn't know what the concrete bug description is. And then element duration I normally don't fill out anymore because this is actually calculated after a few rounds of, once this blueprint has been edited or this workflow ran through a few times, then this is calculated automatically, so I don't fill it out anymore. But you can, if you say like, this is expected to take 30 minutes to work on this task, obviously you can say it takes 30 minutes here, right? And then we have the channel. And in the previous video that I did, where I showed how to work with the system, the channels are really important because this way you have like one feature suggestions. You can work through all the feature suggestions that are in the system. Well, for this task, it's not that important, but if you say you're a developer, or like me, I do the testing as well, I do some documentation as well as I do the marketing, then I have 3 different channels and I can choose that I want to do only the marketing stuff now, so I work only on the marketing stuff, and then I can switch the channel to testing and I only work on the testing stuff. Then through save changes, you can say you want to stay on this page. You can go back to the overview. You can add a follow-up task, which you can see here, right? So you have to finish this task, describe the desired bug, before you can, before this task can be started. So this one is waiting. Check new bug is waiting for this task. You can also see that in the previous video. Before you can, before you have to work on this task before you can work on this one. This one. I can also add a new required task. And to see how this will look, let's go to check new bug. Check new bug is, you can see that here, are you a CloneDesk manager? Is value yes. So this task will be skipped if the person who filled out this field that described the desired bug says, yes, I am a manager. Because if he says he's a manager, he knows which bugs have already been added to the system, so he can decide whether this bug should even be worked on or not, right? So is this a new bug, no or yes? And if I say yes, then all the other tasks after this one are just skipped and the workflow is completed. Or actually there's one more task for the one who issued this. He will get notified about this saying, hey, this bug has already been added. I will show you this in a second. Now, check new bug. Right, so we have this one. This is required. I need to describe the new bug. And then I have all the others are follow-up tasks. Because first I need to check whether it is a new bug. And then I need to prioritize it. Once I've prioritized it, our IT department can analyze the cause for the bug. And then we say, like, depending on the cause, we will add a task to fix the bug in the server, in the API, or in the UI. And then somebody has to test it. The code has to be reviewed. And once that's done, we test it on beta. And once we've tested it on beta, it will go live, and you, the issuer, or me, the issuer, will get an information about this bug. Now, another really, really cool feature in CloneDesk is that you can add short codes, making the descriptions really dynamic. So here you can say, like, please check if, and then short bug description, which in previous case, let's say what do we have here? We have test bug pause scheduled workflow not working, right? When clicking on the here we have, for example, detailed bug description. When clicking, this is the detailed bug description. When clicking on pause icon in scheduled workflows overview, pause status is not changed, right? So this would be this field. I can just add this here, right here, and then it will be displayed. All right, now let's move to an even cooler feature. I said before that we have this field, that here we have a field called, is this a new bug, right? And so if the manager says no, all the tasks afterwards are skipped. And if he says yes, they will be worked on. And now the one who issued this bug, he will get this task. So in this task, he will get a description, your bug, short bug description. And then here you can get a short code. If is a new bug equals yes, your bug blah 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 got solved. Please check whether it still exists. If it does, please give feedback and tell us what does not work yet. All right? So this message is only displayed if the manager before said, yes, this is a new bug, and the guy who issued this bug will only get this task whenever all the other tasks here, namely test bug fix on beta.clonedesk.com, is completed. Then, if the user in this task here checked the new bug, if he says, no, this is not a new bug, he will get this message. So it's super dynamic. Is being worked on a different workflow, you will get informed when the fix is released. Right? That's it. So it's super dynamic, and we don't have to work out a plan like how everything works together and all that. And we don't have to inform depending on, well, any condition, but this is done automatically. And the guy who works on this test bug fix, the only thing he has to do, like this is an example again, what he only has to do is read this manual. This is the detailed bug description. He gets start ghost inspector test flow 1, right? This is the first thing I need to do. And then please test the bug fix pause schedule not working on test.clonedesk.com. I go there, I use the user, I have the password, and then I can say like, all right, this is all done, and boom, right? That's it. That's all I need. And I see here these two were, right, let's go into this, because this explains this a bit more, right? So we said that we analyzed the cause for the bug. This has been done by Alex. And now after Alex did this, in this task, he said, I can show you. He said that UI changes necessary, yes, to fix this bug. API changes necessary, no. Server changes necessary, no. Right? Estimated API and UI duration, yes, he has added this. So Puya, who's working on this, he said, well, she will take about 20 minutes to work on this. And now you can see here, this was skipped because no, it's not a bug. No server changes are necessary, no API changes are necessary, so we don't need these two tasks, but we need fix bug in UI. And once Puya has done this, which she has, I can now work on test bug fix. This is how it works. It is complicated because it is programming. You program your team or your whole organization or your project management or whatever. You program this to be really highly efficient. And whenever I see that there needs to be a different task because some information needs to be done, then I will just edit. For example, we recently added the task to that Alex can specify that a specific text is needed, for example, an email or the description or something like that. So I have a text task which comes before the UI task, because the UI person needs this, and also not only the UI person, but also maybe the person who does the mock-up for the UI. He might also need some texts. And so a text task is there. But if Alex says, no, I don't need text, then that's fine. So it's really efficient, and everybody just knows what to do next. Hope this helped. And if you have questions, just ask them in the comments or just shoot us an email.